Welcome to the Youth Life Project Zambia. We believe in the youth because we believe in the youth. It is the reason why we want every youth to be aware out there that as a Youth Life Project Zambia, on all our platforms, all our social platforms, every Friday afternoon we will have new posts by the professionals that we identify as things or rather topics that affects the development or deter the success or the development of the youth. As a youth-led organization, it is our pride to look into the matters of the youth because we understand what affects youth.
My name's Henry Mwanza, and I am a psychologist by profession. Although most people think of psychologists as people who read minds, but in actual sense, our main role is to be able to understand human behavior and also see how we can be able to enhance the well-being of other people through some structured therapy sessions, some structured information that we give in trying to understand oneself and also influencing the people that are around you. So in today's discussion, we're going to get to the core of every individual, which is the mindset. And most of the time we hear people talking about we need to change the mindset, we need to change how we see things. So how do we use the mindset as a driver for change at a personal level, at a community level? So we're going to take it a bit more at a personal level. How do you look at your mind as something that you can use to get to new heights, to do better with yourself? So first of all, a mind refers to our thinking, our beliefs, everything that revolves around how we plan things. So it just could be life goals. For example, you're planning on completing your education, and then from your education you go on and complete your higher education or your degree, your diploma, your certificate, whatever it is. So all that is part of the mindset. But everything that you are planning to attain does not happen in a vacuum, or does not just happen by you having a thought. So we are going to look at three aspects that are very, very important when it comes to mindset. So mindset, like I indicated, is about your thoughts, the way you think about yourself, the way you think about your environment, the way you think about other people that you interact with, the way you think about your own abilities. So all these thoughts that you have, or the thinking process that you undergo as a person, at the end of the day, it's also influenced by something that we can call a belief. So there is a thought process, and this thought process goes on to create a belief, which could be a personal belief. There are people that just believe that no matter what comes in my way, I am going to achieve what I have set out to achieve. So this belief comes because of your thinking, the way you've been thinking about situations. There are some of us who, by the virtue of not trying out anything, we can always declare ourselves to say, I think I am a failure, I cannot do it. Meanwhile, you haven't even given any effort. It's just the thinking, just that mindset. When you think about the effort that you need to put into something, then you would have already declared yourself as not someone who can achieve. Now, that in itself affects the level of effort you're going to put. So you are not going to move forward and put in more effort because you hold the belief that I am a failure. On the other hand, when another person who has set out their goals in life and believes and holds a belief to say, no matter what happens, I am going to achieve this which I have set out to, they are even going to put more effort. Even if they meet any challenges, they are going to still persist because they hold the belief that they are going to achieve or they are going to conquer the situation. So we have looked at two things that make up the mindset. One, we've looked at the thought process. Two, we've looked at the beliefs that come in as a result of the thought process. And the third component is the behavior. So you have the thoughts, you have the belief, and these two will influence the behavior. When we talk about behavior, we are talking about the level of effort you're going to put into something, or the commitment that you're going to give a certain particular task. So if, for example, you hold the belief that inesininga change ni so chabe setinapera pamene apa, even your effort will be that which will not be able to bring about change. So while if you hold the belief that isolo vivute bwanji tima kwanisa, on the other side, you put in more effort to make sure that you uphold that belief that all of you vutebwanji tizakwanisa. So the effort that you put in is part of the mindset. So when we talk about mindset, we are talking about three things. We're talking about how you think about yourself, your situation, okay, your abilities, and then what kind of belief do you hold about yourself, and then what effort are you putting in the situation? So if you hold negative beliefs about yourself, you have negative thoughts, then even your level of effort is not going to give you any chance of change or progressiveness in your life. So that always has to be at the back of our mind. And when I talk about these three things, it's not that things will be very smooth when we talk about personal change, community change, career change, anything. It doesn't mean that things are going to be easy. So there is another component that we also need to be aware of and work on, which is adjustments. So this word, we usually use it every day. We hear it every day. Adjusting. I am still trying to adjust. So adjusting, in my profession, we say you have to cope. You have to find a way in which you deal with things like disappointment, a change in lifestyle, a change in your environment. You have to adjust. So even when you are set out for progressive change, you are set out for achievements, there has to be an element of adjusting. So what are you adjusting to? If you have encountered failure, you have to realize yourself that here I have encountered failure, therefore I need to adjust my plan, or I need to adjust my approach in life, or I need to modify or adjust my expectations. So this process of adjusting helps us to keep us on track. So simply because you've hit a very hard road doesn't mean that you have to give up, no. But it simply means that you have to adjust either your expectations, your lifestyle, or you also have to adjust your goals to make sure that you move in a very progressive way. So adjustment sometimes can even occur at a very, very natural level. Let's say you have these huge expectations of going to school, and probably the person that you're looking up to take you to school are your parents, and in the process, your parents are no more. They die. So even in that situation, you find that many of us would hold back and say, because my parents died, I couldn't do A, B, C, D. But the level of adjustment we're talking about here is realizing that you no longer have your parents, then should be able to give you another strength or another energy to be able to wake up and find ways in which you can still accomplish your goals despite this change in your environment. So that is a process of adjusting. So you are adjusting to the fact that you might not have anyone to support you but yourself. So you have to put your resources together, put your mind to it, change your belief and say, despite me not having my parents around, or despite me not being able to, to just make that big step, I am still going to start in a very small way and still end up at that big thing that I am aiming for. So this is one thing that you need to have at the back of your mind. So you have to adjust to new opportunities. If a new opportunity has come up, you've made it in life, you also have to adjust at that point, because it takes a bit of responsibility for you as an individual to say, where I am now, how do I still move forward? How do I live this life where I never imagined myself to be? So even at that point, there's still an opportunity for you to adjust, because that is a new environment. You cannot move in that environment with the same belief that you held yesterday. So you would have to change your belief, you'd have to change your thinking, and then it is from there that you can pick it up. Challenges, we've talked about challenges, and I think the challenges sometimes seem to be so many, and these ones would even demand us to even have a greater sense of adjustment or coping with the new challenges that we have. Now, you would have probably heard so many people talk about the road to success, or how you achieve so many things and how you keep yourself in a balance. But for every individual to really be successful in whatever it is that you do, you really need to have intentions, or you need to be assertive. Assertive is really an aspect that is part of the mindset. So each one of us at any point or the other, we get to hear so many things that people tell us, or people compliment us, or people disregard us. But then it's up to us to really be assertive and say, this is who I am and this is what I can do. So even when you're looking for change, there are people that have been taught to say you will not amount to anything. But because they are very assertive and know that I can do so many things as a person, I am gifted in writing, I am gifted in drawing, and I'm going to use this skill or this talent to go places. So that is being assertive. Even if people talk, you have chosen a path knowing that you put in the effort that is needed to realize that particular goal of yours, of the vision that you have. So you have to be assertive as a person. And being assertive simply means that you would have set out your ambitions, your goals, and regardless of what people might say, there are some that might encourage you, there are some that might just be there to just discourage you. You need to be able to say, I am like this. Now, these things that I am talking about, these are not things that are very tangible, but these things are part of the thought process, the things that you hold in your mind, because we always say that the mind is the soul of our thoughts and of all creation. All that you want is found within your mindset, within your thoughts, within your beliefs, which in turn will influence your behavior. And as you are thinking of the change that you need in life, you really need to check internally. You check yourself first of all, or just take a moment and reflect about what is it that you feel you are capable of as an individual. What is it that you feel you are capable of? What is it that you feel is a good skill that can take you places? What do you believe about yourself? And if you look at your belief, how much effort do you put in, to just accomplish the things that you wish to have as a person? So think about those things, and then you also realize that there is a very big connection between your mind and your body. The way you think has got a very big impact on how your body also reacts. And to demonstrate this, I'm just going to give you an example to say that there are times when you receive good news and all of a sudden, even your legs have got the energy to jump up and down. Now, this good news is something that has just hit your brain, but because of the connection that your mind and your body has, it gives energy to your legs to just jump up and down and just feel nice about the whole situation. And this is to say that the moment you have a lot of negative thoughts in your mind, even the level of energy as a person is not going to be there. You won't feel the energy to wake up. You won't feel the energy to do things. Why? Because of the negative thoughts you have in your mind. So the moment we talk about mindset, always remember that these three things I'm going to highlight are connected and they're part of your mindset. One, your thoughts. Your thoughts can be positive or negative. And it is from these thoughts that you can have your beliefs. Your beliefs can be progressive, or they can be very detrimental to your progress. They can be the opposite of progress. And with your beliefs, with your thoughts, then comes the behavior. So a negative thoughts, a negative belief, it simply means that the behavior, the outward behavior you're going to exhibit is not going to be positive. It's going to be negative, or you want to put in a lot of effort. But when you have positive thoughts and a positive belief about yourself, then even the level of effort that you're going to put in is going to be big. So we should always remember that the mind and the body has a connection. The kind of thoughts we entertain in the mind have got an impact on how the physical body reacts, on how the energy, where we get the energy. So sometimes that boostele that we are looking for can be found in our mind. It's not found outside there, but it is found within our thoughts, our beliefs, and the level of effort that we put in when we want something to change. So for those of us who've been wishing or thinking about, or maybe holding on to find a source of change, the very point that you need, first of all, is to change your thinking. You need to begin to change how you think about your situation, how you think about yourself. It could be a challenge. Think of it as an opportunity to grow yourself in terms of how do you overcome this challenge? How do you move on to this next stage of your life? So change begins with the transformation of your thoughts, the transformation of your beliefs, and then you need to add some physical activity to be able to attain the change that you need. So it's not found out there, but it is found within yourself, within your mind, within, the physical body that you have. And if you focus on these things, then you are going to slowly begin to build the change that you want, and you are slowly going to become the person that you've always been looking forward to. So this just covers the aspect of the mindset and how it's important as a driver for change in our lives.
Iwe na inde Tinga chinje vitu na kuyenda